What's up, everybody? My name is Godzi, and welcome back to some more Umineko When They Cry questions arc. Last episode... Mindfuck. So something I actually missed last episode, as I went back, checking through the video, seeing, oh, is everything fine? Is everything good with the video? No problems or anything, because I do that with every video. I somehow managed to miss that there was a chime that went off at one point when Beatrice told young Eva that she now has the name Beatrice or something. I missed that, and I didn't notice that the character was actually added until I went to save after finishing the recording last episode. So I just go to system, and here she is. Apparently this is Eva Beatrice. She's still Beatrice, I guess, but... Alright, let's just read this. Eva Beatrice solved the riddle of the witch's epitaph and was welcomed as the new Endless Witch. She was gifted with an aptitude for magic and is expected to grow into an extraordinary great witch. The genius of a witch often overindulged in her own power during her younger days. Such are the trials only geniuses may endure, and if she proves successful, her name will surely be engraved in the history of endless witches. Will she be able to overcome the trials that forced her predecessor to surrender? So I guess she's now technically fighting Battler. Oh, and tradition. Oh, that's... interesting-ish? Sure. Her PS3 sprite's certainly better. I do think Virgilia, actually. Her old sprite's probably one of the best of every character. What's Ronave's? I prefer his new one. I can see the appeal of the old sprites, but hardly any of them are really all that great. I mean, Virgilia is really the only character I can maybe see an argument for her old one being better, because it just looks a little more regal and the such. And Battler's is... His is fine, I guess, but I prefer the PS3 one. And I also like the Steam one better, too, honestly, but whatever. So, where we left off, Battler was very confused, as was I. So, let's just get back into the reading, because this is a reading game. Woo. What is all this? Of course, I'm not gonna swallow this story, but what in the world does it mean? Aunt Eva is the new Beatrice? Are you saying she's turned into a witch? What the hell? I was also surprised to think that someone would be able to solve that riddle. However, that is the rule. I must follow it and pass on the position of Golden Witch and my name. So then, what? The riddle, the epitaph. What's the Twilight part then? Because all I know is Eva found something in the library and put it somewhere, and then she went deep underground. And that's where the gold was. Huh? You know, whatever. It is hardly something to be surprised about. At the very beginning, you wrote that rule in a letter and announced it. Eva was simply the first to be successful. That is all there is to say. Virgilia, are you there? Yes, here I am. What does this farce mean? Even if this depiction of strange witches showing up one after another is some of her bullshit. Isn't this almost like Aunt Eva turned into a witch? I turned down the volume a little bit because I noticed it was relatively loud last episode, and I'm assuming throughout the remaining episodes beforehand, so hopefully it's better now. Calm yourself. She has simply received the title of Endless Witch and might call herself that in the future. This succession ceremony is certainly nothing more than an act to promote that child's explanation. Don't fall for the same move over and over again. That's right. That whole grand ceremony was all phony. But it's at least a fact that Aunt Eva solved the riddle of the epitaph. And at the same time, that means she succeeded the Ushiromiyas family headship. And after getting 10 tons of gold, Aunt Eva might as well call herself the Golden Witch. Is that it? Damn, it's as complicated as ever. My. It's a boorish human unable to comprehend the grandeur of this ceremony. Oh well, being unable to read between the lines is what makes you human. I pity you, but I do not blame you. Damn it. Don't look at me like you feel sorry for me. Still, for the time being, there's something I need to check. and that's regarding this younger version of Aunt Eva. In other words, the definition of this new Beatrice. What is that? Even if I tell of it, you will just persist in your disbelief in magic and witches, correct? So there's nothing in particular for me to explain. Feel free to believe in whatever it seems to be to you. What it seems to be to me? Then how should I interpret this? From now, it might not hurt to view it as a visualization of a separate entity inside Ushiromiya Eva. Of course, you cannot blindly accept that answer, but it is probably a reasonable theory to hold for the time being. In other words, I should think of Aunt Eva and her as the same person, right? Damn, I don't like where this is going. In any case, from now on, my name is no longer Beatrice. I have passed it on to Ushiromiya Eva. Which means that I am nameless. Bachelor, don't you have some name that'd be fitting for me? I shall accept your recommendation. He'll probably just say Beato or something. How about a name that's refined, full of elegance, and a little cute, too, if you can? Just Beato is good enough for you. There's probably a big enough difference between Beato and Beatrice to keep people from getting confused. I fucking figured, yeah. So the same old Beato, is it? It doesn't feel wrong, but it's boring for some reason. Yeah. They say the temperature of black tea and a woman's heart are difficult to gauge in any era. Battler, at any rate, stay calm from this point onwards. The fact that we can now tell her and Ushiromiya Eva apart works to our advantage, compared to the time when that child was still Beatrice. And that's exactly why I like it even less. What's she thinking? That Beato. Over there, the witches formed a long line to bless Aunt Eva, who had the figure of her younger days, and who now possessed the name Beatrice. It was like a witch's coronation. The countless gold butterflies flapped their wings, directing this fantastical gold sparkling space. They were all praising her. As I stared from the distance, I looked at the newly born Beatrice, who had a slightly embarrassed smile on her face. Her expression, which had been lost and confused at first, seemed to be full of the happiness that she was finally starting to recognize. That expression didn't look at all like someone laughing insanely while standing before the gold. There was just the innocence of a person basking in their own joy. As a person who denied the existence of witches, I couldn't view this witch succession ceremony with a joyful expression and accept her. However, when I looked at that innocent smile, I felt like I wanted to offer my blessings just for that moment. So does this mean that, quote-unquote, Eva Beatrice is gonna know Battler, then? Does she have the memories of, like, the older Eva, or just the younger Eva? Huh, who knows. It's always beautiful when strong efforts bear fruits and are rewarded. Aunt Eva, who had always yearned to succeed the headship, and who had worked hard since her youth without reward, had spectacularly taken hold of the chance given to her by the riddle of the epitaph, and had finally gained that position. How divine is the smile of a person whose childhood dreams have been granted. I definitely won't accept witches. But Battler put his hands together, making a small sound. Clap, clap. It didn't reach her ears, but it did bless her. Congratulations, Aunt Eva. You spectacularly solved the riddle of the epitaph before anyone else. It's your victory without any complaints. I won't accept all that about the Golden Witch and so on, but I will accept you as the new head of the Ushiromiyas family, and I'll celebrate that sincerely. I mean, Battler has no reason to disrespect Eva at all, really. In fact, the only person I can think of who he might have ill will towards is Rosa after the second game, but whatever. As though urged on by Battler's applause, Beato also clapped. Did they change this? No, it still says this is Beatrice, which is weird. It was a slightly odd scene. Battler and Beato, who opposed each other, were standing side by side and applauding the same person. I'm not applauding for a witch. I'm clapping for all of Aunt Eva's efforts up until now. As am I. I offer my sincere applause as a blessing to Eva, who spectacularly solved that epitaph. I don't like applauding with you. But, well, I've decided that I won't worry about it now. Divine punishment won't fall on me just because I clap with you every once in a while. It's not so bad every once in a while. Still, it is fun to applaud. Even though it was Eva who was successful and not me, for some reason I'm starting to feel happy too. That's because blessing someone means the same thing as sympathizing and sharing with them. I see. Then, I have even shared this irrational happy feeling with you. Since we are a pair of enemies trying to make each other surrender, it is an odd experience. Well, just for now, let's have a truce and clap, okay? Beato laughed impishly, playing around and applauding even louder, as though eagerly trying not to lose the bat where she clapped. But is she even his opponent anymore? Because Beatrice did tell Eva about the, revival ceremony or whatever, right? Nah, whatever. Batwer went along with her and clapped even louder. When he did, as though some ceremony had ended, everyone applauded and highly praised the reborn Beatrice. It was just as though Batler's and Beato's applause had been the final thing needed for her succession. Good job or whatever, teenage Eva. Okay. Well, that was quite the mindfuck. The current time is 10:30. And still only 6 deaths. Granted, I think it took like literally half the day in the first game for anyone else to die. Rosa returned to the lobby. It was still her turn to rest, but her expression made it look as though she couldn't sleep deeply with all this tension. Take it easy and lie down. Keep this up and you'll have it pretty rough later on. Thanks for the concern. I just couldn't fall asleep. I've already taken a shower, so I'm good for now. The next person can rest. What about you two, Kyrie, Rudolph? What will we do, Rudolph? Shall we rest? You can rest. I'll stay awake. That's the only manly thing I can do right now. Then I'll stay awake. Staying awake with my husband is the only womanly thing I can do right now. You two truly are close. You should talk. It seems Eva and Hideyoshi are out cold. It appears that, unlike Rosa, they can't fight against their age. As though in response to those words, the door to the hall clunked open. Hello, guys. Eva and Hideyoshi returned from the guest room. That's none of your business. Oh, Rosa, are you sure you don't need to rest yet? You should talk, sister. Why not take it easy and sleep? And they're just gonna start awkwardly going back and forth and laughing and stuff. I just can't get to sleep. Taking a shower took my drowsiness off. Rudolph, Kyrie, you can rest if you want. Sure, thanks. Well, for now, let's say I appreciate the sentiment. Why don't you go first, bro? How kind of you, but I cannot rest first. That is the most I can do as the oldest brother right now. Do not worry, the two of us will stay awake until the very end. So no one's gonna sleep then. Got it. More importantly, Eva, are you okay? You look a little pale. Come to think of it, you're right. Could it be a bit of a fever? Hideyoshi put his hand up against Eva's forehead. It seemed that Eva wasn't feeling her best. That goes without saying. That's what happens when you break your sleep cycle at your age. Is it a cold? Natsuhi, could you call Dr. Najo down? Yes. I'm fine, you don't have to make such a fuss over it. I have some medicine, so I'll be okay. I tend to get fevers when I'm tired. Don't worry. Sister, take it easy, okay? Thank you. If the siblings gathered without me around, I get the feeling everyone would start talking behind my back. It's a persecution complex from long ago. Sorry, okay? Well, I won't say anything. As if I'd say bad things about you behind your back, sister. What is it? Sister, you've been acting strange for a while. Shouldn't you get a little rest now? You're right. Just thinking about raising money by March makes my headache hurt even worse. That isn't good. Rest. And I'll hold back too, so that your headache doesn't get worse. I've had a bad headache myself for a while now. Thank you. Well then, I'll take those words to heart and rest for a while. Is that not even weird at all to say, her saying raising money by March? Because she's not the one who's supposed to be doing that. What is it, Eva? Why so angry all of a sudden? Sorry, please let us rest a bit longer. Sorry. After apologizing several times as though praying, Hideyoshi followed Eva out of the lobby. I don't like this atmosphere. It's all so strained. It's no surprise. There was a murder early this morning, and since then we've been eating canned food and carrying guns around. It's natural that we'd start to build up stress. I wonder if the kids up there are building up stress too. I'm worried about Maria. She tends to throw tantrums at times like this. At that moment, they heard the sound of wild footsteps coming from the second floor. The guest house wasn't a cheap building, so they wouldn't normally have heard the sound of footsteps. It was like the sound of someone stamping their feet in frustration. And an instant later, accompanied by what seemed to be the sound of her running out into the second floor hallway, they could hear Maria calling ooh 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 over and over again, sounding displeased. Uh-oh, did something bad happen? Rosa grabbed her head, her hair flying, and she voicelessly moaned in anguish. The adults conscientiously turned their backs to her, pretending not to notice. The noisy clamor came down from the second floor and flew into the lobby. It was Maria, who was sobbing, along with the other children and Nanjo. In other words, they had all come downstairs because of Maria's tantrum. Rosa couldn't hide her dizziness at this new annoyance her daughter was bringing to everyone. Sorry, Aunt Rosa. We tried to calm her, but she just wouldn't listen. I forgot that Jessica exists in this game. Oh! Oh! Ah! What is it, Maria? Could you be a little more quiet? Everyone's watching. It's that Rose of hers from the Rose Garden. She suddenly started saying that she was worried about it. So of course she did, right? I think she's half asleep. She suddenly woke up and started going on about how worried she was about that Rose. Maria, calm down. That was just a dream. That rose belonged to Beatrice and me. So if I don't take care of it, Beatrice is gonna get mad. It might get snapped off again. Oh! I'm telling you to quiet down a bit, okay? The sudden rise in the tone of Eva's voice surprised the children. But Maria's crying just grew louder and her tantrum just grew fiercer. Rosa, you mustn't scold a child so unsparingly. At times like this, it's best to give them some warm milk or something. Is there any here? The milk we just had for breakfast is empty now. Doesn't anyone have a sedative to use on kids? You know, those silver pill things? I have some. Yes, I'll search for some now and give them to her. They're gonna fucking sedate Maria? Is this common practice in Japan? What? Without hiding her displeasure, Rosa grabbed the handbag that had been set on the sofa and fished around for some medicine. It seemed she had brought some child-use sedatives for Maria's tantrums. Is it sedatives or sedatives? Sedatives sounds better, I guess. She found it and opened the bottle, but it must have been empty. Irritated, Rosa shook the bottle several times, but that didn't change the fact that nothing was in there. As she did that, Maria's crying grew even more intense. I really should get a pop filter at some point. Wait, pop filters help with the sound as opposed to s sounds, which I just need to get better at not slurring my s's anyways, but whatever. At that time, Eva was lying on her bed, covered by the bedding. Hideyoshi returned from the washroom, folding a handkerchief soaked in water. Ooh, this is one nasty fever. I'll bet it's the poisonous air at this family conference that got you. For now, you can forget all about the other relatives, okay? As Hideyoshi spoke to her kindly, he set the soaked handkerchief on Eva's burning forehead. Eva rested her own hand on top of his. Your hand feels nice and cool. If my hand feels nice, your fever must be pretty bad. Don't worry, the medicine will start working soon. Plus, my hand is a magic hand. I just put it against your forehead like this, and any fever will melt right away. Are they gonna give us like a fucking Hideyoshi Beatrice also? Ushiromiyas battler. You're right. Your hand always makes my fevers fade. Yep, no need for a doctor when you've got my hand. Don't worry and close your eyes. My magic will make that fever fade away.
Yes, I know. I can feel your magic.
Hideyoshi was about to say it was just a placebo effect, but he stopped. If Eva said she could feel magic coming from his hand, then that was fine for now. I wonder if magic really exists.
Yeah, it does. Only those who believe can tell, though. There's actually a lot of magic like that out there in the world.
If magic actually exists, then I wonder if witches actually exist too. Is this Hideyoshi or Kraus? No, I mean my voice, not the character. I know it's Hideyoshi, but I feel like I'm slipping between Hideyoshi and Kraus way too often.
Oh? You mean that witch of the forest, Beatrice? She probably does exist for those who believe. Just like the gods. They don't show themselves except in front of those with strong faith.
I did it too, you know? Long ago, I was able to use magic. Oh, wait.
Sorry, I don't know what happened there.
Oh? Really? Then you were a witch too?
I had dreams that I wanted to come true no matter what. After wishing strongly and trying hard, they always came true without fail. With my magic, my grades were always the best, and I even became the student council president, and worked hard to get into the university I wanted. Everything I wished for was granted.
That's right. Your magic was always a thing to be reckoned with. You're definitely a witch, and you work harder than anyone. I know all about it.
When I was a kid, the whole time there was another me inside myself, who always supported me, and that other self was a witch. I didn't believe in Beatrice, the witch of the forest. I always believed that if a witch of Rokenjima did exist, it was the witch inside my heart. I was so grateful to that witch inside myself. I was always grateful that she brought me to you.
You get too timid when you're sick. Don't say anything for now. I'll stay like this the whole time. Oh, fuck. Until your fever's gone down.
Yes, don't take your hand away, no matter what. Somehow, I feel like I'm becoming something that isn't myself. And I've been scared for a while now. I get the feeling that the witch inside me was provoked by Beatrice, and is growing stronger and stronger. Somehow it feels like she's going to swallow me whole.
It's okay. As long as I'm with you, there's nothing to be afraid of. Remember the time we went to that dangerous country and the whole bus got robbed? I drove them off.
Didn't you just hand over your gold watch and beg them to go away? It was pretty lame, but it was cool.
Shut up, shut up.
Don't move your hand away, no matter what. Not even if I fall asleep. And if something creepy sneaks in here, protect me.
Yep, leave it to me. That's why I'm telling you to stop worrying and get to sleep. Because the medicine and my magic will start working real soon.
Eva finally calmed her heart and closed her eyes. Okay. At that time, there was the sound of a door being opened violently from the direction of the lobby. It seemed that Maria was having a tantrum, and screams of ooh ooh could be heard, along with Rosa's rebuking yells. That probably hurt Eva's ears. Or maybe it was giving her a headache. Eva moaned as though in pain and buried herself in the covers. It was easy to guess what was happening. Maria probably had a tantrum for some reason, gone down into the lobby, and started arguing with Rosa, who then scolded her daughter. And then maybe that got too embarrassing to be shown in front of the other relatives, so Rosa had taken Maria out into the corridor. Hideyoshi had no desire to butt in on Rosa and Maria's problem. But just for now, since Eva's condition was so bad, he wanted them to take their ruckus somewhere else. Wait just a sec. I'll ask them to keep it down. Come back quickly.
Don't worry, I won't leave this room. Hideyoshi removed the chain, opened the door, and stuck his face out into the corridor. He immediately met Rosa's gaze. Everything okay, Rosa?
I'm sorry, did all this noise wake you?
Oh! Oh! Maria, sorry. Aunt Eve isn't feeling well, and she's trying to sleep. Could you quiet down a bit? Maria's tone didn't change after Hideyoshi's request. She kept crying ooh ooh and repeating, my rose, my rose. Rosa slapped Maria's cheek, lifted her up while covering her mouth, and dragged her towards the entrance, trying to at least put some distance between her and Hideyoshi's room. She would still probably be noisy for a while, but he had warned Rosa for the time being. Relying on Rosa's actions as a mother, Hideyoshi closed the door.
Is Maria having a tantrum again?
Looks like it. It's tough for Rosa, too. Come to think of it, our George is almost too good to be true. We should be grateful.
You're right. Yeah. hand? Oh, sorry. Look, it's the magic hand. He put his hand on Eva's forehead again. Maybe there really was magical power in that hand. A truly peaceful look rose to Eva's face, and bit by bit she began to drift off into the land of sleep. As he had promised, Hideyoshi kept his hand on her forehead. Okay. So now what? By the entrance, with her hand still against Maria's mouth, Rosa was at a loss at what to do next. She hadn't been able to withstand everyone's gazes in the lobby, and had yelled at the children to go upstairs, dashing out of the lobby. Then she had gone out into the corridor, only to have Hideyoshi say that she was too noisy. Where should I go now? Where should I take this child who's having a tantrum? And my heater just turned on its own, I guess. I do have it set to 70, I guess. She felt as though tears of frustration were about to come out. As Maria kept struggling in an attempt to scream, Rosa put her mouth up to Maria's ear, and tried to persuade Maria in a properly calm voice. Maria, do you really want to see the rose that much? Maria nodded her head several times, moaning ooh ooh. Why do you want to see it so much? I'll listen as your mother, so will you tell me quietly? I'll hit you if you scream. My rose. Beatrice revived it. Might have snapped off again. I'm worried about that. I can't sleep until I'm sure. Apparently she was still upset about that marked rose from yesterday. Rosa felt her headache throbbing again, but she was at least a little relieved that Maria had now stopped her screaming. Anyway, everyone is having a hard time right now. So don't bother Mama and everyone else. You can worry about that rose all you want tomorrow when it stops raining. So for now, listen to me. No! It's my Beatrice's rose! Rosa reflexively covered Maria's mouth. She had spoken a little too harshly and gotten her agitated again. Rosa realized that it was partly her own fault and clicked her tongue in self-hatred. But Maria thought that was directed at her, and her crying grew even fiercer. Maria's been rather normal this arc. Like, she hasn't gone at all yet, but it's probably just a matter of time. Please, just be quiet. What can I do to make you stop crying? What should I do to make you listen to what your mama says? Suddenly, Maria stopped crying so fast that it seemed unnatural. Oh, fucking here it goes. Then she turned around and muttered, If I get to see my rose, I'll stay quiet until tomorrow. Really? Yes. If we go to the rose garden and see my rose, I'll calm down. I mean it, Mama. And here comes Psycho Maria, as always. If it would keep Maria quiet for the time being, Rosa thought that even going out into this wind and rain would be a small price to pay. She thought that it might be a bit reckless, but in the end, no murder or anything of the sort had actually occurred. All of that clamor since this morning had been a farce set up by Kenzo. That's a fucking death flag. If you carefully thought about that chain of closed rooms, it clearly had to all be an act. Will you really listen if you get to see the rose? Yes, I mean it, Mama. Christ. Ouch. Rosa didn't overlook that creepy laugh and lightly hit Maria with her fist. She shrugged as though giving up. Understood. If it's just one look, then I'll agree. Will that work? Yes, Mama. I promise. Okay, I gotta say, the sprites that they give Maria for the PS3 version are considerably more effective than the Steam version. Because the Steam version just looked like she was having a smug grin, but this time, her eyes are literally lightless. It's ridiculous. Once again, Rosa tested the weight of her gun. It'll be okay. It's only an act. There was never a murderer on this island in the first place. They're both fucking dead. Damn it. Wait, Aunt Rosa. Are Aunt Rosa and Maria the sacrifices for the second Twilight? Damn it. Someone notice them. Tell them to stop. What are those guys in the living room and us kids doing? Indeed. They're being considerate of Rosa's pitiful relationship with her daughter and are forcibly changing the subject. The group that includes you went up to the second floor and is talking about something else while watching TV.
You bastards. Someone, notice them. Who's the closest? Is it Uncle Hideyoshi? Please, notice that those two are leaving through the front door. It won't reach. It won't reach. Don't disturb their precious time together. So it is still just regular old Beatrice as our opponent. Not Eva Beatrice, which it's probably for the best since I have not really established a good voice for Eva Beatrice, but whatever, it probably wouldn't take too long. Hideyoshi kept talking kindly, his hand on Eva's forehead. He didn't notice at all that Rosa and Maria were going outside through the front door. In that case, there was no way the others in the lobby, which was even further away, would notice, much less those in the cousin's room on the second floor. Why are you so panicked? Didn't you defeat me with that bold move, saying that the culprit died in an accident on the first twilight? Doesn't that mean there's no longer a culprit on this island? What is there to be so worried about? Shut up! I can see right through you! Someone stop them. Those two will be killed. Someone stop them. Ugh. So I guess if they actually do die for the second twilight, does this mean that the two who are close can refer to really anything? Meaning, I think I talked about this before, saying, does it always have to be a couple? Like husband, wife, lovers, regardless? So really there were only 5 possible combinations? I guess not, then? So it can be something like mother-daughter, mother-son, father-daughter, father-son, stuff like that. So it could be a combination even as fucking ridiculous as Kinzo and Kraus or something like that. If they really wanted it to be. And siblings, I guess, would work too, so it could just be like Eva and Rosa, or Rudolph and Eva, or something like that. There was no way that Battler's voiceless scream would reach Rosa or Maria. The two of them could be seen in the Rose Garden. The rain was still awful, but fortunately the wind had died down a little. No, maybe that wasn't fortunate, because maybe if the wind had been a little fiercer, Rosa might have hesitated to go outside.
Ew. Here it is!
Maria found her rose with the gold lace and stared at it lovingly. Rosa had accepted the promise under the condition that Maria would only get one look at it, but she didn't want Maria to complain that it hadn't been enough later on, so she decided to go along with Maria until she was satisfied. She believed that there wasn't a culprit, but on the off chance that she was mistaken, they were now in an extremely dangerous position. Rosa realized that faintly herself. If things got bad, she would throw away her umbrella and ready her gun. After glancing at Maria's innocent happiness, Rosa gazed warily in all directions. Oh fuck. Yeah, they're toast. Were her eyes just tired? Even though no one should have been there, she thought she saw something glitter in the dark rose garden. Gold-colored? It had to be her imagination. Because to Rosa, it seemed as though gold butterflies were dancing through the rose bushes. Are you okay, Eva? Just take it easy. Should I call Dr. Nanjo after all? I'm fine. Don't take your hand away. I'm begging you, don't take your hand away. Eva was breathing wildly. Beads of sweat were appearing on her forehead. It certainly was true that she had stayed up all night last night, and that things had been rough since early this morning. It wasn't odd that her body wasn't keeping up. Even though he understood that, Hideyoshi suspected that the sudden fever was a sign of some serious illness. Several times, Hideyoshi decided to call for Dr. Nanjo, but Eva resisted firmly, pleading with him and saying that it was even more important that he didn't take his hand away. I understand, but you've got to have Dr. Nanjo look at you by lunchtime. If you can promise me that, I'll stay here the whole time gripping your hand. Tightly, like this. Thank you. I'm fine. The magic of your hand will definitely take this fever away. Even as she said that, Eva's harsh breathing didn't improve in the slightest. Why does she have such a bad fever? Is she just, like, hyperventilating over, like, I found the gold, whee! And it's just hard for her to remain calm after that. Okay, long black screen. Holy shit. Okay, here we go. Don't let go. Don't let go. I'm not gonna scream into my microphone. Who is it? Oh, that's Rosa. Who is it? She saw an umbrella moving from beyond the rose bush. Rosa threw her umbrella and wildly lifted her gun. When she did, the shadow of a person beyond the bush showed itself. Oh, I thought it was just... Oh, it's Maria. 2 Marias. What? Eh? Aunt Eva. Oh, Eva? You scared me. It's you, sister? Do you have some business with me? Do you want to continue our earlier discussion? But, huh? Yes, that's right. Our discussion about Father's gold. Please restrain yourself in front of Maria. I will keep my promise, okay? I won't get in the way of your conspiracy. Conspiracy? What's that? Oh, fuck, she's pissed. Whatever you're thinking, that's up to you. I have no desire to get in the way, so please, not in front of Maria. As long as I get my share, that will be enough. Your share? What the fuck? Eva started laughing in a creepy voice. Rosa was startled, but Maria stared blankly. Then Maria said just one thing. Nothing. At all. Eh? Auntie, who are you? Your share? Who would give that to you? All of that is mine. It all belongs to me, the Golden Witch Beatrice. What the fuck is going on? Wah! Eva, are you okay, Eva? Eva! Eva! Hold on. Don't let go. Don't let me be dragged away by someone who isn't me. Hold on to my hand. Don't let go. Literally, what the okay. I guess it was just her in disguise. Okay. I guess given all this illusion shit, it makes some sense, but legitimately, what the fuck happened there? Is it just someone else? Is it the real culprit? And it's just this whole conversation's an illusion? What voice did I give you? When did you ever work hard? You never worked hard for anything. You were always hiding in our shadows. You always escaped from shadow to shadow without fighting. And yet, you really think yourself qualified to make demands of me over the Ushiromiyas family gold? All of that is mine. It's all mine alone, as the head of the Ushiromiyas family and the new Golden Witch, successor to the name of Beatrice. Beatrice. It's Beatrice! Mama, Beatrice! Maria jumped at her mother in ecstasy. Rosa treated Maria cold-heartedly and raised her gun high. Hey, you're sister, right? You are sister, aren't you? Wrong. I am no longer the one who was your sister. Then who are you? Are you trying to say that you're Beatrice? That's impossible. You died 19 years ago. Yes, you were definitely dead. After all, I clearly saw how your head was split open. I can remember the insides flowing out like it was yesterday. How can you be alive and be right here, right now? The concept of death does not exist to a Golden Witch. The Golden Witch in the name of Beatrice will be handed down for all eternity. Maybe the Beatrice you knew met with death, but that name is mine now, and therefore it's eternal. The concept of death does not exist for Beatrice. All I can see is that the gold has driven you mad. How pitiful, sister. Come on, you know I'm not your sister anymore. Well then, as the new Beatrice, I've been tasked with my own resurrection ceremony. Renove, what should I do? That is up to you. You already have the power to make whatever you think reality. You should grow used to it once you've tried it out a little. You worthless former sister. You should consider it an honor to have been selected as the first sacrifice I offer as a witch. On the second twilight, I'll tear the two who are close apart with my own hands. The first thing the new Beatrice wished for. No, the first magic she tried to use was to surpass the limitations given to humans. In particular, gravity. She wanted to become fully aware of her transformation into a witch by being released from those shackles. As the witch and Rosa stayed as they were, the ground retreated all by itself into the distance below them. By now, their feet were no longer attached to the ground. She's making them float. What the? Rosa finally realized that the earth wasn't retreated into the distance below them, but that she and the witch were being sucked up into the rainy sky. Huh? Oh fuck. She's already psycho. Whoa. Awesome! For a human shackled to the ground by gravity, there was nothing more unnerving than having their feet stop sticking to the ground. However, to Beatrice, who in becoming the new witch had learned the joy of being released from gravity, it was enough to make her whole body shake with delight. Hey Rosa, do you remember long ago, when we were small, when we used to talk about what it'd be like to become witches and fly around the sky? The dream has been granted, hasn't it? I became a real witch and granted it for you. Stop it. If this is a dream, then wake me up. You said it yourself. You said you flew through the sky in your dream. And you also said you didn't want to wake up. You even got mad at me when I woke you up, right? Don't worry. This time you won't wake up, okay? Oh, Christ. The lightning's so fucking loud. Come, dance with me in the vast rainy sky. Didn't we both wish we could fly like seagulls in the sky and escape the cramped and boring island of Rokonjima? Now make that dream a reality for you. I only want to share this joy with you and no one else. It's so fun, Rosa. It's so fun. Take a look below you. Look at how small our mansion is. I wonder how much time we spent in a place that small. Now I'm especially shocked at how cramped and tiny it is. It's a mansion. So feel, enjoy, rejoice. That power we yearn for. The power to move through the sky at will. Come on, let's dance, Rosa. Through the rain, through the wind. Let's fly around like we're dancing. The lightning will shine on us and bless us. Alright, she's already having way too much fun. The witch and Rosa were like leaves fluttering around in a whirlwind. As the rain pounded upon every part of their bodies, as the lightning occasionally shone upon them, they shook with the joy of being released from the ground. However, it was only that way for the witch. Rosa was holding onto her head, voicelessly screaming over and over. Stop it! Forgive me! Let me down! You're right, it's more fitting for humans to crawl on the ground. They might not go back there. A slightly displeased expression rose to the witch's face when she realized that her own joy was not being shared. Then she decided to listen to her former sister's request. Okay. Yep, do that. Ah! The whirlwind that had been making Rosa dance around grew weaker, then stopped. In other words, Rosa was once again bound by the restrictions of gravity as a human. Following the laws that were originally correct, Rosa began to descend towards the ground upside down. No, she began to fall. Oops. That's right, if I don't take her down the right way, this is what happens. The witch hadn't intended to send Rosa plummeting, but she still wasn't used to using magic. After plummeting about 100 meters into a rose bush, as a very, very natural result, Rosa died instantly. But the witch hadn't intended to kill her, so she wished that Rosa hadn't died. When she did, gold butterflies coiled about Rosa's body, reviving that life just as the witch had wished. Huh? Rosa's body, which should have been spread out like a carpet of fresh blood, rapidly returned to normal. The broken and crushed bones returned to normal. The torn and smashed flesh returned to normal. How easy it is to break things in this world, and how difficult it is to fix them. Anyone can take a life, but no human can revive a lost life. By surpassing the irreversible, one proves that they have surpassed humanity. This surely gave her a much, much greater realization of her position as a witch than flying through the sky had. My god. Awesome. I can even revive an endless life! Of course, Beatrice is the endless witch. Oh, fuck, I'm flying now too. This is really weird. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Alright. Just stay calm, Rodove. Keep talking. To live and to die. To bring to life and to kill. All of it repeated endlessly.
Beatrice, the Endless Witch, is the queen who controls the cycle of life and death. Now put me down, please. One time, I knocked over a fishbowl. The fragile and beautiful bowl broke, and I couldn't put it back together again. I'd never see that cute pop-eyed goldfish swim again after it had landed on the floor. No matter how much I cried, the servants shook their heads, saying that broken things and dead things could never be revived. That's when I learned something. You must not break things. You must not kill people. After all, you can't fix them. So, if you can't fix them, then you won't get in trouble for breaking them, right? Oh, that's her. I had a frog in my throat yet again. Crikey? So if you can fix them, then you won't get in trouble for breaking them, right? Awesome. My god. For a while, the witch became intoxicated with how terrible and wonderful the power she had inherited was. Her laugh was pure, innocent, and cruel. It's like she's just a completely different character from Eva. Even though Rosa had been revived, she let out a cry of anguish at the pain from her fall. At that point, the witch landed and held out her hand. Sorry about that, Rosa. I didn't think flying in the sky would be so much fun. Sorry, I'm real sorry. And I didn't know humans could die so easily. But I brought you back to life, so we're even. So get up, okay? Play with me some more, okay? What were those dreams you told me about when you were a kid? Go ahead and tell me all of them without holding back. As I am now, I can make anything come true no matter how absurd. Even drowning you in a sea of jelly, even having you get sucked into a mountain of cake. I can even make you sprout butterfly wings and flit around the garden, okay? I'll do them one after another. Let's start with the ocean of jelly, alright? Stop it. Rosa just has shit luck, seriously, what the fuck? Rosa was once again thrown high into the rainy sky. However, the sky wasn't filled with raindrops, but with drops of orange juice. Huh? Why is Eva Beatrice literally a fucking child? Well, I guess she is, technically. Whatever. When she looked down, Rosa had to doubt her eyes. The rose garden had disappeared, and the ground spread out beneath her was like a pastel-colored jigsaw puzzle. It was an ocean of jelly, like the one she had spoken of from her dreams when she was young. The black part was coffee jelly. The red was strawberry. The yellow was pineapple. And the green was melon. What was the white part? Apple? Did Rosa even have the time to think stuff like that? Rosa fell towards that multicolored ocean. Why would white be apple? Apple gelatin. What would that even taste like? This is probably not what I'm supposed to be thinking about when she's getting thrown into the air by her witch sister into a fucking plate of jelly. And she sunk deep into a purple grape-flavored sea. It really was an ocean of jelly. It had no bottom. As Rosa sank, she was shocked to see a school of transparent fish swimming through the grape jelly ocean. They were probably made of grape skin. Then she sunk on, deeper and deeper, as deep as the Marianas Trench, crushed by the water pressure of the jelly ocean, as her ribs snapped, as her spine snapped. In the end, she became a small, frail meatball. My god, stop! You're just torturing her now. What a truly wonderful experience to drown in an ocean of jelly. It's a dream no one else can imitate. I made it come true for you. And she's already losing composure. The instant I snapped my fingers, the meatball that had been Rose was launched up into the sky. And after being wrapped up in a golden sparkle, she returned to her original form. It was as simple and easy as returning dried seaweed to its original form, and anyone could do it. If they were a witch. That absent-minded look on Rosa's face has to be the joy from having that dream she gave up on as a child come true. Definitely. Probably. Next is a mountain of cake. In an instant, the sky was covered and became black and white in the shape of a chessboard. That almost transparent white part was her favorite rare cheesecake. The elegant black part was a slightly bitter gâteau au chocolat. And that became the ceiling. Wait, that became the ceiling, became a mountain. And several billion cakes were thrown down towards Rosa. If you piled those cakes up, they would surely be taller than Mount Everest. So they probably weighed. I'm not too sure, but I'll bet it was heavier than all the cakes across Japan put together.
Oh god, now you're crushing her with cake? You need to stop, Eva. Death by cake. Okay. It fell down like a ceiling and swallowed Rosa up. So as a very, very natural result, Rosa was crushed to death. In less than a second, her bones broke throughout her body, and her insides were all smashed and forced out. Squish, pop, slop. Then they reversed the blood. Even so, an even greater number of cakes piled up on top, and Rosa ended up as a layer of jam wedged between them. She became as thin as a single hair, and was probably spread out over the area of a tennis court. That world, swallowed up by cake, was once again absorbed by a gold flash. What is Maria thinking this whole time? She's just like, whoa, cool! Then, as though it had all been a dream, Rosa was revived once again. Of course, it definitely wasn't a dream. She had been revived after dying. By that point, death, which most humans only have to experience once after they are born, had already been experienced repeatedly by Rosa. In other words, she'd gone through that which humans cannot. The precious experience of dying more than once. Isn't this fun, Rosa? Isn't this fun? Next is the butterflies. Look! Please, have mercy. Ah! Okay. No way. Let's play more. Let's play more. Laughing at... What? That's not the expression you're supposed to have, Rosa. An expression of confusion? You're supposed to be, like, fucking fearful right now. Like, you already died 3 times. Laughing innocently, she pointed her gold staff at Rosa as she begged for mercy. When she did, Rosa glittered gold and rapidly began to shrink. She shrank down to the size of a real butterfly. Then gold springs sprouted from her back and she joined her fellow gold butterflies. However, while a human body could withstand that wind, it was a different matter for a butterfly's body. The gold butterfly Rosa was invited to dance by each gale of wind, and she spun in circles around the rose garden. No! No! As her dance wore her out, she was caught by a gentle bed. It was a soft, knit hammock in the shadows beneath the roof of the arbor. The owner of that hammock lumbered into view, welcoming its rare guest who had wandered in on the night of the storm. That owner, which should have been small enough to crush in the palm of your hand, now looked as big as the top of a canopy bed to Rosa. What a klutz! He got caught in a spider's web! In the rain? This time it's a dance with a spider! That takes me back. Remember the times we'd find a spider's web and play around by throwing pebbles at it? I've heard that spiders don't shoot or prey, but insert their venom, and when the insides melt into a sticky soup, they suck them out. Hey Rosa, remember? Remember how we'd throw butterflies into the spider's web on purpose, and play around by seeing how the spider would attack? I guess you don't remember, do you? This happened before you got into grade school. Make sure you watch closely this time, okay? Very closely. No! Have mercy, sister. Help me, sister. Erger. Whack-a-mole, Cubo! Stop. This girl's not bad. She truly can use magic at will. Amusing, how truly amusing. You feel like laughing too, right, Bachelor? Don't fuck with me. Stop it already. What's so fun? You're insane. You're insane. What's so fun about doing something like this? Doesn't she look like she's having a blast? What do you expect? Magic is fun. I remember when I first became able to use magic, I played around a lot. I understand that kind of game from the bottom of my heart. Looks like I won't be able to share this joy and passion with you, Rattler. Oh, what a shame, what a shame. If you accept me, I'll teach you magic anytime you want, see?
It's hard to describe the joy you receive in the instant you're freed from the shackles of humanity. I want to teach you about it. That joy, that passion. I'd definitely like to see the world of magic you'd give birth to. Just once. Isn't this starting to get fun? You've started wanting to use magic, haven't you? It's pretty fun to be a witch, isn't it? Just for you, I'll teach everything. About the joy of flying together in the sea, in the sky, about the joy of diving together through the sea. I want to show you the passion that starts the instant you surpass the bounds of humans, and see how wide your world stretches. Wouldn't that be fun? There was no malice in Beato's expression. It was hard to believe, but she was genuinely enjoying this cruel show, and she wanted to share that appreciation with Battler. Battler was shocked by that hopelessly different sense of values. You're insane! Stop it already! Damn it! Virgilia, make them stop this insane farce! What should I do? We exist outside the board. We cannot touch the board itself. Virgilia shook her head apologetically. Her body had already been killed. Did that mean she couldn't interfere in any way? As Beatrice continued to look amused in an insane sort of way, Battler lifted her up by the collar and yelled at her. Stop it, stop it, stop it! Quit messing around, witch! You're trying to tell me that's Aunt Eva? That's impossible. The Aunt Eva I know might be a little bit mean at times, but it's completely impossible that she's the kind of person who'd do something this cruel. It's all part of your deception. Don't toy with Aunt Rosa. Don't toy with Aunt Eva. Stop this farce right now. I told you I'm not the one playing with Rosa anymore. Like I said, that's the new Beatrice. Is it really so terrible that you have to squeal like that? You're also pretty fond of stuff like this, aren't you? You actually have just a bit of interest in magic, and... Ouch! What are you doing? For the first time, Battler slapped Beato's cheek. Beatrice didn't know why he had done something like that to her, and a surprised expression rose to her face. Battler especially couldn't forgive that expression, and he roared. Oh, Christ. You call this amusing? What's wrong with your head? Die! Go slice your head to bits and look inside. You'll see there's nothing there. Stop it right now. Stop this disgusting farce. I won't forgive you. How could you do something so cruel? I've sometimes thought you could be a bit funny, but I'll never make that mistake again. You're just a monster who's cruel on all levels. Don't show yourself in front of me. Never again. I won't accept you. I won't talk with you. I don't even want to look at your face. Did you hear me? Don't show yourself in front of me. Disappear! Oh god. The instant Battler screamed, the power that resisted the witch became a red wall and knocked Beato back onto her butt. Ow, 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 ow. What are you talking about? Isn't it an interesting show? She spoke defensively, but the target of those words, Battler, was no longer there. His figure had suddenly disappeared into the darkness. But Beatrice looked displeased and continued trying to explain herself. It's not as though I'm completely blind to where you're coming from, but this is nothing more than an innocent prank, isn't it? No matter how you kill them, they'll always be brought back to life in the end, right? I thought humans were creatures who say all's well that ends well. Hey, teacher, there's no reason for him to get so angry, right? She was hoping for approval, but Virgilia simply faced her with an indifferent expression. To Beato at that moment, even an exasperated look would probably have been better. I have nothing in particular to say. If you think this is fun, you can keep watching as long as you want. Call me when it's over. I will vanish until then. Following Battler's lead, Virgilia vanished into the darkness. Beato, who was now completely isolated and didn't have a clue what was going on, felt like they were making her out to be the bad guy. Perhaps it's because you're literally the antagonist, Beatrice. Or I guess Beato. What's wrong? Isn't it an amusing show? It might be a little vulgar, but it's quite interesting, isn't it? Hey, Ronove? It's nothing to get so mad about, right? Something interesting for you, milady, may not necessarily be interesting for Battler. Does he really hate me that much? Well, certainly, we are enemies and opponents in this competition. But is our relationship really so bad that we can't laugh together at this display? Since I applauded together with Battler, I thought I could at least laugh together with him. Does he really reject me so much that we can't even do that? He doesn't have to accept that I'm a witch. We're challenging each other in this game after all. Oh god. And yet, he won't look at my face. He won't talk to me. And he'll probably do all he can to ignore me. If I really hate him that much? The moves you've made up to this point have been more than enough to earn his hatred. Even a demon such as myself can understand a bit of Battler's feelings. Perhaps you cannot understand because you are especially thick-headed, lady. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up! Why don't you disappear too? Yes, certainly. Then if you would excuse me. Even Ronovai hid himself in the darkness, and Beatrice was left alone. The only one in the rainy rose garden. No one ever plays with a lonely witch, and the fact that no one ever does is what makes them a lonely witch. What's going on? Why won't anyone play with me? Am I really that weird? That's cruel? Someone answer me! And she's just fucking still bitching around, of course she is. Isn't this fun, Rosa? Isn't this fun? Hey, how should we play next? Of course we should play with Maria, too, right? Let's all have a friendly walk together, okay? Let's swim in a pot of boiling chocolate. Let's have a picnic in a cake-rising oven. Hey, new Beatrice. Behind the witch that was continuing her mad banquet, Beatrice showed herself. That expression was very rare for her. It was somehow restrained, unreliable, miserable. Oh, it's the predecessor Beatrice. Were you watching? The power of magic is truly wonderful. Until now, I never thought it'd be so fun to be reborn as a witch. It's like playtime that never ends. Come on, let's play together, predecessor. But first, wait for a second, okay? I cooked the two of them to death in an oven, so I have to revive them again. They're like bread rising from yeast, like cookies expanding in an oven. Listen to what I'm saying. Well, isn't that enough for the sacrifice of the second Twilight? Of course, there are no rules regarding how you kill them, but, maybe you shouldn't toy with them any more than that. What are you saying, predecessor? I heard from Ronovai a short while ago. Wasn't your magic much more wonderful, cruel, and crazy? That Halloween party where candies poured out of 6 people's stomachs was truly wonderful, so maybe I'll act out Alice's tea party. I'll invite everyone to a tea party in celebration of a completely pointless day, and entertain them one by one with my magic! How does she know about the Halloween party? I wonder if I can do it as wonderfully as you. Oh god! I wonder if I can be cruel in my own pop-cute style. Oh god! Now I think about it, all fairy tales are cruel, aren't they? Now that I'm a witch inside one of those fairy tales, I finally understand! I have also, sometimes thought that, in the past, I might have gone a little too far. Well, I think that as the Golden Witch, it's probably best to show a little elegance. I don't get what you're saying, predecessor. But there's one thing I do understand. No matter how hard I try now, I'm no match for how cruel you are. I've got to try much harder. I've got to become much more cruel, and become... burping. And become an excellent Golden Witch. I had a can of Dr. Pepper an hour ago, so that explains a lot. Like I said, you've already done enough here. Anyway, this is an order from me as your predecessor. That's enough for the second Twilight. I'll show you how it's done. Stand back and watch. Yes, predecessor. I can't wait to see what brutal, cruel, and disgusting method of killing you use. She's gonna be very disappointed. The new witch grasped the sides of her skirt, and gave a graceful bow. Stepping back as an expectant gaze rose to her face. She was expecting an even more cruel magic that surpassed even herself. Well, speaking of that, you're only half a witch if you can only kill with methods like that. I shall show you an elegant way to kill, worthy of the Golden Witch. When Beata waved her pipe, 7 colors of smoke poured out, reviving Rosa and Maria. Compared to how the new Beatrice had done it a short while ago, it was slightly gentler. It was probably gentler than how Beato had done it herself up until now. Rosa's consciousness had already grown dim from the pain of so many repeated deaths. But even so, she pleaded that her daughter be spared. Please, have mercy. Even if it's just Maria, have mercy. Ah, Mama! Sorry, my disciple just, acted without restraint for a bit. Forgive me. Beatrice! When Maria realized it was the real Beatrice, she jumped onto her. You promised, right, Beto? You promised you'd take me to the Golden Land, right? There I'll be friendly with Mama, and everyone will laugh together. You promised you'd take me there, right? Sorry, you can't survive every time. About that, I can no longer keep that promise. Because someone appeared who could solve the riddle, I am no longer the Golden Witch Beatrice. So, sorry, I can no longer keep my promise with you. Why? Why? You promised! I'm sorry. I'm truly sorry. So at least an apology for not being able to keep my promise. I'll give you a quiet sleep that will never be disturbed again. Beato embraced Maria with a loving expression on her face. Then softly, a red bruise appeared on Maria's neck. It was a very gentle bruise. Is this like the same thing that Genji used to kill Kanon and Shannon? Its redness grew bit by bit, and when it distinctly formed itself into the shape of a hand, Maria's neck tilted suddenly, peacefully as though she had fallen asleep. Maria! Maria! Sorry, I won't apologize that you were the sacrifices for the second Twilight. That is simply your fate. However, I must apologize for the vulgar way in which you were offered as sacrifices. This is your final sleep. Never again will be disturbed. Beato softly, gently lifted her finger as though touching the empty air in front of her nose. When she did, a light breeze lifted up, making Rosa's body dance lightly like a feather. Then Rosa's body floated softly, and right there was the garden fence with its spear-shaped prongs. Oh, fuck. That's... Okay, that's somehow even worse than her getting crushed by a mountain of cakes. Oh. There's CGs for the dead bodies? The spear of the fence pierced Rosa's medulla oblongata. Is that really the second time they've said medulla oblongata? Yeah, they said that when Rosa shot one of the goats, right? Fucking what comes around goes around. Benevolently, without toying with her in a single blow, Rosa's life was snapped out. Compared to the earlier, innocent yet cruel events, it seemed to be over much too fast. It looked just like a doll, shaped like Rosa, was leaning against the fence, but she had passed away. And Eva's gonna be incredibly disappointed, isn't she? Okay, so I'm assuming what happened in reality is the real culprit, whoever that is. Slammed Rosa down through the fence, and Maria was a witness, so they choked her to death? Or they wanted to kill them both for the second Twilight anyways, so I should treat it like they wanted to kill both of them from the first place, and not just Rosa? That's probably what happened. Well, something like that should do the trick. Beato acted proud, but the new witch wore a blank expression, almost as though this was an anticlimax. Then she said it out loud. It's kinda plain. Not all like the predecessor Ronove told me about. Well, you must use magic with dignity, right? If it's too, undignified, that isn't very elegant. Even though you're lucky enough to have the magic to do wonderful things endlessly. How boring. Hey, don't complain. The path of the Golden Witch cannot be completed in a day. You are still incomplete until you finish the 10th Twilight. For now, stay quiet and follow my instructions. Got it? What happened to your answer? Your answer! Sure. Very well, that will do. While there is still much to do for the resurrection ceremony, you still have to kill 5 people. You should do it without toying with them too much, with beauty and dignity, and with at least a little restraint, okay? What Ronove told you about how I did it? That was a bad example. You mustn't use that as a model. Engrave that into your heart. Yes, predecessor. A good answer. Renovate the 7 sticks of purgatory. Arise. Yes, milady. I, Ronove, am here. Lucifer of Pride, right here. Up until this point, I've been a little flashy, but, well, the dignity of the Golden Witch is also important. And about that... As Ronove laughed at Beato's uncharacteristically flustered speech, he summed it up for her. Certainly. From now on, we will be careful to act in a graceful manner, suitable for the name of the Golden Witch. Even the 7 Sisters of Purgatory will reform their bad behavior up until now, and we shall espouse to perform our task in the quickest possible manner. Would that be acceptable, milady? Indeed. That's it, more or less. Everyone take it to heart, okay? Yes, certainly. That is all I wish to say. You may leave now. Certainly. If you would excuse me. Excuse us. Well, that's all I want to say. So take care as you move forward, understand? Act with dignity and, restraint, okay? Give it your all. I will be watching over you. Acting awkwardly until the very end, Beato left that message and immediately became a cloud of gold butterflies, hiding her form in the empty air. Maybe it'd be more accurate to say she vanished in a hurry because she couldn't keep up the conversation. After all that remained was Maria's corpse, lying down and pounded by the rain. Rosa's corpse, propped up by the fence and staring up at the sky, and the figure of the witch. Show some restraint, you say? Her expression looked just a little bored. There was a popping sound. That was probably her clicking her tongue. What a boring person. Yeah, she has no plans to be normal, does she? Leaving that last sentence behind, she once again vanished into the empty air. Shatter! Ha! I'm a god. Oh god. The current time is... 11. Well, there goes Rosa and Maria. Well, that was certainly interesting. Alright, so that's gonna be it for this episode. If you liked it, be sure to press the like button, and if you didn't like it, fuck you too. Remember to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date on all my videos and stuff. And as always, my name is Godzi, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye!